sounds change triple noise, required to exit space-time dimensions, and super strange theory required to space time dimensions in order to be consistent. These two numbers already learn and common often with other technogrammatic attractors. What is more amazing is how the clear BL manifold with really flatness and theories choose resembles a two-headed clock. A god of duality, like harmony and chaos, or possibly rather middle world which are separated to being united together. In quantum physics, there is wave-particle duality.
Everybody, you know what time it is. It's techno time. Another Saturday. I think this might be a crazy one. There's a lot of people in the chat already. Holy moly. Oh, did you just hear something? I heard a voice. Who was first? Oh my. Lenny, what are you doing? I told you to stay quiet. All right. Listen. Okay. What's up? Who's in the chat? Who's in the first in the chat? Oh my God. Sotney, Dan Eider Studio. The Metaphase is here saying, bring in the hardcore today. That's right. Industrial Strength Records is here. Yes, indeed. Of course, you know who's my guest today, right? We've been winding up for this for weeks now. Heatsy's here. Ben Colt is here. DJ Cali C. Muo. Acid Bat. Oh, Acid Bat. He's a regular. You're a little too late. I'm sorry. We had to cut him off yesterday because there's just a lot of submissions. I kind of knew there would be. I had a feeling. Next time. We'll get to you next time, Acid Bat. Kozeps is back. Hey, Hardheads. That's right. Manuel Gloat is back. We got some new names, I think. Surflow Sama, are you new? Glad you're here. Glad to have you with us. D-Man 3000 is here. Dimmy B. Rock Me on the Thunderdome. Yes, I think we can all agree with that one. Ben Colts. I think that's... Oh, Steve Like is here. Silver Knobs is here. I think you submitted some stuff. Actually, quite a few of you that submitted are here in the chat already. That's excellent. We got Murilo Agostino in Brazil. Fantastic. Look at that. Jason Shostak, Serotonin Records. He's here. He's telling Lenny not to be quiet. Lenny, don't do quiet. We got Fuja Records, D-Man 3000, Witold Zielonka, First Time, nice. Nicholas McCormick, very good crew here just to get us started out. You all have fun and talk amongst yourselves in the chat. Let's get going. Welcome everybody. It's a very special episode of Selway's Techno Saturdays here on 343 TV. Brought to you by 343 Music Production School here in New York City, in Berlin, and online. If you want to know more about the courses, I'm going to keep it short this time. I'm not going to tell you what we're doing. You know what we're doing. We got classes going on. We got Ambivalent. We got Kevin in the other room teaching mixing. You know, we got Alden in the other room like jazzing it up with some color bass. Like there's always a lot of great music going on around here. So if you want to know more about what we're doing, the classes we're teaching, the programs we're running, in person and online, check the links below in the description. That's what you need to do. All right. Of course, there's also the invite link to our Discord, and the Discord is where you want to be if you want to join in on things like what we're doing today with these feedback sessions, where a whole bunch of you guys submitted some crazy tracks, some hard techno tracks, some very different styles of hardcore, gabber, rave, all sorts of craziness that we're going to go through today. And to help me do that, my guest, none other than the very legendary Lenny D from Industrial Strength. What's up, Lenny?
Oh shit. We are on the air.
Here you are. I can't believe
Live
it.
and direct.
We talked about having you on the stream like ages ago. I think even when it was not during lockdown, but I might have reached out to you that far back. Like I was trying to get everybody I knew to come on and be a guest.
Well, I'm glad we're here now.
Exactly. Where are you, Lenny?
I'm in my home studio in my house, which a lot of you guys have your own home studios in your house. I run Pro Tools. I'm using these Ex Machina Pulsar speakers, which are freaking amazing. What? It's like the best speakers I've ever had. I've got some, and
so
I've got
your home studio's not like any old home studio. You're working with top of the line, like world class hardware in that studio.
Yes, I got a little SSL X rack in the back and some other outboard I just use for the mix bus. Not all the time, depends. And the room is treated. I had it. That's where it really, you can put any speakers in here and get a pretty good response from them. The room is small and those speakers are huge, but you can listen really low on them and still get pretty much everything that's going on in a mix. They're used for mastering basically and mixing. So they were designed for mastering.
Okay,
really.
Yeah, those are usually like mastering speakers are generally the most detailed, right?
Yeah, and this is
if you want to know what's wrong with your mix, they will tell you. No hiding.
Totally. I get to hear how bad my mixes are all the time. But they're three-way speakers. Okay. So they're deceiving, but there's a mid-range in there on the tweeter, and there's like 3 crossovers, and there's a really great algorithm that kind of pops them all together. So the phase between all of them it's pretty impeccable.
Now,
very impressive.
Almost every time I talk to you, you'll just go deep. You'll start nerding out about all this stuff with your gear and the mixing and everything. But I want to talk a little bit about because all right, not some people here know exactly who you are, right? I said you're a legend. And I think you deserve that title. You're one of the earliest like techno rave hardcore DJs from the United States to cross over and have a global presence. We're talking like late 80s already when you started putting out tracks and getting noticed overseas, right? Even before it blew up. So, and along with like people like Frankie Bones, right? So you're like seminal. And for me as a techno artist, and I also make house and other styles of music, I love electro and everything, but like Oliver Chesler and I had our Disintegrator project. You were okay. I can't give you you were the first, you were the second, but like because Jimmy Crash put us out first. But
then I went to that rave party. And I was like, I gotta get these guys.
But you helped us, Oliver and I, start our career. So I just want to thank you for that, and just let everybody know that's how far we go back, right? Early 90s.
Yes, totally.
And that you're a really important person in the music scene, not just because I think so, and also so that's some history for some people out there.
Yeah,
and then why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing in terms of your labels, what else you're doing on the side of that, like your sample packs, things like that, and just sort of where you're at right now.
Well, I'm in a really good place at the moment. I love making the sample packs. At this point, I don't really technically make them all anymore because we have a design team, and the amount of packs that I need every week or every month, it's pretty much impossible for one person to do it. I actually do the live music packs and kind of weird packs and stuff. So that keeps me in the game. But I actually been working on a lot of techno. I've been focusing on that. Gigs in Fabric and loads of parties coming up for me, which is great. Yeah. And I'm basically just producing a lot at the moment and mixing. I love to do that even more than producing. I'll be honest with you.
That's why you'll go on for hours about your new speakers.
Totally. And I'm using Pro Tools, so there are other DAWs to write better, I guess, but I'm pretty comfortable with everything. So, everything's been going really good at the moment. I'm very happy.
DJing?
Yes, totally.
You're still out there headbanging it?
Still headbanging it, getting fucking my neck is hating me right now. But yeah, I still do it. It's just part of me. I've been headbanging when I was doing disco, so you know. But
That's
yeah,
right. That's like when you first started DJing, you were playing like disco,
disco.
freestyle, like electro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Totally. And if you think DJing is hard, try some disco records with turntables where
Sure.
it's a live drummer and
And like
wigging
those
that
old
baby in.
techniques, the pitch control was not as good as it is now. Like you
No,
really had to like
definitely.
be very careful, didn't you?
Yes, definitely. And you know, when I started in Europe, it was in like, well, I started the label in 91. And I just sort of became this hardcore DJ that went all over the world, more so than all the other DJs. I was already in the, I guess, the circuit, I guess, for illegal festivals. So,
Sure, right.
you know, and there's not a lot of video footage because back in the 90s, the camera would be like holding up a, you know, a massive thing with the, you know, VHS tape in there. So not a lot of things that you could really see back then, like now, obviously.
I don't know. You can't see this right now, Lily, but I just put a picture up. It's one of your press photos. This is what Lenny looks like. It's this one where you're like, it's you DJing with the DOA shirt on, the red one.
Oh,
that photo.
Yeah,
this is Lenny D in action. This is what you can expect when he's at your party, and that energy level is personifies high. That. It's really. I remember this is the same when we heard you play at raves at like the Storm raves in Brooklyn, like back then.
It's amazing how many we sold of those things, you know. But you know what it is? It's like it tells a story. So I mean, it has hard kick drums and things, but it's really all those tracks that what makes them kind of timeless is how they projected the vocals, the track. It was very cohesive, and you can listen to that stuff now and still get the same feeling as you would then. You know what I mean? I mean, the quality is different, but it was all analog, so there are different textures and things like that. But you know, like between Manu Lamalin, Nasenbluten, DOA, I mean. I could go down the freaking list. You know, we've even had Carl Cox, Richie Horton, Daft Punk on the labels. It's pretty insane, actually. You know, when I go back and say, "Wow, I wish they would make a record for me now." But yeah, very, very good. I'm very happy to A&R. I've been doing it for like 33 years, 32 years.
That's, you know, speaking of A&R. And going into what we're supposed to be doing today. So we're doing a feedback session, and those of you who've seen this out there before, you know that like it's an opportunity for all you guys to share your music, right? And then it's also an opportunity for me and the guests that I bring in to like listen and give you, you know, I've positive feedback and also honest, constructive criticism. So
totally.
Lenny has, you know, decades of experience and for A&R and like choosing tracks. You know, in certain styles, but he knows all music, right? You listen to everything, right?
We have about 3,000 tracks.
That's insane. You have a huge catalog. That's great.
It's huge. It's like 700 records with God knows how many tracks on those, and then the digitals is probably like another 200, and there's like 4 tracks from each one of those, and then there's all the sub labels. That's just industrial strength.
Yeah,
it's
industrial
not
strength,
even
hard electronic. There used to be IST. Do you think you ever might do IST again?
Yeah, I am actually. I'm just searching for the reboot.
Okay.
You know,
you got to be the right. Maybe who knows? Maybe one of the tracks you hear today. So let's get into that, right? So you're coming at this with the ear of an A&R, and you work fast, right? And I know you even listened ahead to a lot of these tracks, and you've got notes. That's like the first time anyone's done notes ahead. Usually we just come on and give our initial first reaction, right? But this time. You could go deep.
I do have notes.
We need to make sure that
miss a few. I did miss a few.
So there's still going to be a few that you'll be like hearing for the first time. But that's cool.
It's my pink mouse.
And so we did a little pre-listening. There may be a couple that we're not going to just. If you don't hear your track today, it's either it wasn't. We felt like it wasn't quite hard techno, hardcore. It was sort of a little outside of those genres, or it's just a matter of time, right? You know. So we've got 35, 40 tracks to go through, and we'll see what we can get through, and we'll try to be efficient about it.
If I can start with there were 2 tracks with videos, and that was very good.
All right. Let's reserve the
we'll
actual,
get to those.
Yeah, so we still want to kind of lay some like expectations here, right? So I talked about a little bit with the chat. I'm sorry, with the Discord channel mainly that, and with you guys that there might be opportunity to name some winners and give some prizes. And so in terms of like actual, like a prize you can hold in your hand or download or something, what did you have in mind? What do we have in mind for like the top 2 or 3 tracks that we're going to listen to today?
Well, the winner will get 3 sample packs and a T-shirt. Number 2 will get 2 sample packs, and number 3 you will get 1.
That's all right. Let's just say that again.
But you never know. I might be feeling generous, so maybe everybody.
Wait a second. All right.
Know.
Be careful what you say. All right. So the winning track was a T-shirt and
3 packs of your choice.
The second place winner 2 sample packs. The third place winner 1 sample pack.
And you can choose any pack from all my brands. We have Asset, which is more cinematic, industrial, noisy kind of sound designy stuff. We have Industrial Strength, which covers everything from jazz to hardcore to pop.
Yeah.
And we're starting I have another brand which is completely commercial called TD Audio. I do it with my partner from Function Loops.
So there's a lot of choices.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices. And we have a new one from it's going to be called Spell Sound, which is really geeky. It's like with stacks and analog synths, and it's from the guy from Shiny Toy Guns. So
no, that sounds good.
Yeah, really interesting. That's in a few months we launch it.
So so we have some expectations there. And the other thing we were thinking about just generally is, some of you are making some pretty good stuff, like pretty high level stuff. And without making any promises, this is kind of like an introduction to Lenny and his labels as an A&R guy. So this is let's say, opening the door to Lenny possibly considering making a release with somebody. So that's not a prize you're going to win. We're not promising a release, but we're opening the door to a conversation with Lenny D about maybe doing something, right? So just keep that in mind. Just that little. I'm trying to keep the hope alive, right? Just like
hope
it's
is
possible.
alive.
You can get
hope is alive,
and and then so if you get feedback today and it wasn't as good as you'd hoped, look at that as a learning experience from someone like Lenny who knows as an A&R guy like what to shoot for. So that the next time you do it, the next time you send out a demo, the next time you go for some feedback, like you have some ideas of what to reach for and to achieve.
Yes,
to get to up your game.
Do not feel frustrated. It's part of making the music.
You just keep trying. You just keep trying. You do what you love and keep trying.
Yeah. I mean, I've had tracks and stuff that never came out. People didn't like them. Blah blah blah. Sometimes I release a track and I didn't really think it was great, and everybody loves it. There's just so many variables, and just don't give up. And the one thing I don't see on the internet. Have fun.
Okay, we want to have fun.
When it gets,
I'm definitely having fun doing these streams and having guests come on and listening to your tracks. And I was thinking we were going to do about 15 minutes of intro. It is now 18 after the hour. We need to get started on these tracks.
Let's go, baby. I'm ready.
Let's hear what happens. This first one we have here. All right, I can't read the Cyrillic, but the user on Discord is CC Genoa, and the track is called Quiet. Quiet. It's not very quiet, though.
I don't think it would be.
Let us know how that sounds, and for the volume levels, if it needs to come up a little bit, we can fix that.
I'm good.
I'm talking about the stream, Lenny. I know you can hear it. I'm bringing it up a little bit. I hope you can still hear me.
Yep.
All right.
Let's cue it up a little.
You want to jump in a little bit?
Yeah, definitely.
I like that bass.
Yeah.
This sounds like we listened to this one yesterday. I already told Lenny.
Yeah.
I like this one. This is my kind of techno, hard, groovy techno that I might play in a DJ set.
Little Chauncey.
That's fine.
Maybe cue it up again a little further.
Lenny works fast. He's like, just keep going, keep going.
A little bit more.
Still going. We need to get into a break or something, right?
Yeah, go for the break.
It doesn't really have one until here, towards the end of the track. And this is a short track. This is a banging track. There's that hook again. 4 minutes, 13 seconds. We're almost done.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so
to me, the track is very linear. which for that style is really good.
Well,
The
yeah, like as a
overall-
DJ as a techno DJ, like layering like 3 or 4 tracks, you're doing like multiple decks and looping, like it's good raw material, right?
It sounds really nice. Maybe the vocal is a little too low. In the
Interesting. Yeah, you can make the hook a little bit up there. And
yeah,
really catch
a little
in your
bit
ear.
more. Like what you got to do is balance like the snares and the vocals, because usually when they're together, the syllables hit the snare. So if you're A-Bing to get a good vocal, put it in mono if you have that opportunity, and just kind of look at like the track is here and the vocals here. So an average pop record between loudness and and
the vocals are really loud on a pop record.
Yeah, there's like 4 decibels when there's a breakdown, so you can kind of use that as a guideline.
Yeah,
maybe
it's a pretty that would work, right? But I think just generally, like right here. It could jump out a little bit more, right?
A little bit more, just like a dB or 2. It's nothing that can't be.
The groove of this is great. It's just locomotive. It's chugging along. Like people will definitely dance to this.
Definitely.
I would have myself. I would have put that little vocal break maybe earlier in the track and done it a couple times instead of doing it after 3 minutes. Like it could have easily happened here around 1.5 minutes or something. 2 minutes halfway through the track.
I mean, if you're following some sort of arrangement, you don't want to have it too linear because your ears.
Okay, granted, we skipped through it. We might have missed the kick drum dropping out and little tweaks here and there. Like we don't have time to go through it beginning to end because we've got
that's a good track. It really is a good track.
This is definitely a good one. All right. So thanks very much for that one. This track called Quiet. It's so not quiet. It's banging. All right. Here we got, this is a regular. I've heard some music from him before. This is Steve Leich, This or That 303 remix.
Oh, wow.
We might be able to bring the volume of this one up a little bit. Where's that volume control? Oh. Dark. Jump in a little bit?
Yeah.
I like that there's like trippy little things changing throughout, in the background, kind of cinematic style. Here comes some acid. Pretty good when it doesn't hit you like bang, but like good energy, right? And it's still early. Let's go in.
Let's cue it ahead a little.
Right, more energy with the percussion. A couple little breaks there. That's good. There's a lot of movement going on between these sections, which is good. And then we've got a break here. Go in a little bit. Building it back up.
Yeah.
Let's see how it comes in.
Yeah. Badass.
Pretty good.
Totally.
I didn't expect to hear that chord repeating on the kick drum like that.
Definitely
That's a little
not.
different.
That's good.
Yeah, if you're able to do something that gets your attention in a good way that doesn't ruin the groove, that's...
I did feel like the breakdowns going in might be a little disjointed. Like
okay, so some arranging
on
things
the
maybe?
first break. Yeah, it's some arranging, and sonically in these headphones, I'm hearing bottom and I'm hearing top,
but not a lot in the middle.
I'm not getting a lot in the middle.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're on point with like mixing wise. It's not quite there. And one compositional element here in this section, I don't love this thing that comes in. I feel like
it kind of throws it off.
I would rather it be more like this. I want to hear that again. That worked better than more one note acid.
It's when you're making tracks, like what I find a lot of times is younger artists, they kind of lose focus and they tend to add more instead of spreading things out a bit easier, and it'll help the sonics. And like for me, I'm missing that mono center, like either the hi-hats or even the kick in mono. I've been tending to use more mono lately in the tracks. It gives it a bit more but good track.
Very good track. Someone in the stream is asking for a higher volume. I think we did yesterday when we set up. I had the volumes up higher, but it was a little out of bounds for Lenny, and I wanted to make sure he's got the best.
Yeah, I could lower it from here. I think.
No. I think it's the whole mix going out to the stream, not just you.
Oh, okay.
I think I think everything wants to come up. I'll do my best, but easiest thing for you guys to do is just turn your speakers up, your headphones up. All right.
Yeah. So that's why we have a volume control.
That's right.
You know.
Let's move along. Anyway, nice one from Steve Like. Thanks very much. Here, I think that's an interesting title. Wonder what this is going to sound like. We got The Weed is Kicking Hard from Bunchy.
Wow.
All right, let's turn that up a little bit.
Yeah.
And while that happens, I'm going to try to fix the mix for the listeners, for the viewers.
Maybe cue it up?
Yes, yeah. Trippy Trancy.
Yeah, I like it. Maybe go a little further?
Sure thing. Let's go to the break.
Yeah.
All right. I think I just put the level of the music up a little bit. Is it a good?
Yeah.
Is this good for you guys? Can you hear me talking over the music? Let's jump in a little bit more. See what else this sucker does.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we heard this track.
To me, sounds great. Arrangement, everything's there. Just a bit more on the high end. You know, it sounds like there's a lot of bass, and the high end goes down. And if you're using a two-way speaker, the crossover could be misleading on the lower end, like a 200. Some of them cut out like a thing like this. So you got to like maintain. If you got such a good bass, you got to maintain the high end. I thought the acid could have been louder, as it's the main thing of the track. I mean, I know the kick is important, but it seems like the kick overwhelms the high end. And
there's a lot of mid range in that kick. It's got that kind of chesty.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I think. Not that kind of kick can work, but it's got to be balanced, right? It probably needs some more like compression and EQ. I also wouldn't mind a deeper thump underneath it, right?
Yeah,
it's hard for me to sub this track.
Yeah, and this the high end seems to get, and the acid could just because you have the kick here, right? And then you got this kind of in the middle, making this work like louder. But don't be afraid to push the high end or push the rhythm, the hi-hats, because that's really the rhythm. Okay, it's got the kick, but you got that acid, and you know, and these things are balanced great, but then you got this kick like this. So if you kind of balance the whole thing, I think you'll get more out of the track. But musically moving,
good.
You know, on a big.
I mean, it's got that one little break in the middle. Another one of those might be good. Because you know, the last 2/3 of this track don't change as much. Like,
you see,
do you know what would be a good idea? Have a section where it just drops down to like the drums and the bass and not as much of the acidy stuff.
Yes.
And then bring it back, right? That could be.
You know what it is? It's arrangement. A lot of the tracks I did heard is the arrangement. And it's like, you know, just so you guys know, the human ear gets bored after 4 things. Let's say if you look at drums, bass, vocals, and synth. When you start with 4 things, and once it gets up there, you kind of got to trick the ear so it doesn't get bored. And if you're listening to your tracks and go, oh, what's wrong? It's probably more the arrangement than anything else. You know, it's really how you flow with the tracks.
Cool.
You know.
Wise words from Lenny. I agree entirely. Like you don't need sometimes fewer things that change often is better than too many things that.
Yes. And I understand techno is linear, but you know, you can even do little filter moves on the hi-hats.
Modulation.
Keep
talk about
your
that all the
ears.
time.
Yeah, it's really important. It really is.
Let's get into the next one. This is Oscar Cuidad, Untitled number 1. Oh, techno. Speaking of techno,
Here we go, buddy.
got that raw underground, a little bit old school, but with a modern sheen to it. I like this. That kind of thing. That little sweep when the kick drum dropped out. That's cool. Yes, indeedy.
Yeah, nice sense. Maybe go a little further.
Sure. I like it, Lenny. You know we need to keep moving forward. We can't listen too long.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. We got to get to it.
Gotta move it along.
More filter moves here. I like how he brought things out right there. Like it's less intense. That was nice. More. Now we got the obligatory, gratuitous 909 ride cymbals in there.
You gotta have it. Sounds good. 20 years and it still sounds good. Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Badass.
Dude.
Wepa!
Another break. And each break is a little bit different. I like that.
Yes, that's very important too.
I like the reverse. Detroit taught me
Very
how to do
good
those
track.
reverses on my techno tracks. That was so like on all those Jeff Mills and Underground Resistance records from the early 90s that had all those reverse edits in them.
Totally. Hey, well, look, I've heard enough.
Man. This is a good one.
My only criticism.
Oh,
and this
boy,
is
here we
my
go.
only one. I think the intro could have started out a little bit sparser.
Oh, like start lower.
Start with less a little, like instead of the wait until your first, or even the
synth filter down.
Yeah, or coming in later, or put the hi-hat a little bit, because it really comes in all at once, which is not bad
if
for
you're
techno.
mixing this kind of techno, it works because you're cutting the bass out and you're smoothly sneaking it into the previous track.
But I just feel like in the first, 16 bars, it just could have let up.
A little bit less.
Yeah, it's
and
more
then just to listen to as well that way.
Yeah, I mean, after that intro, it's all really perfect. I kind of, when I mix and play records, I kind of like it a little sparser, because usually the record that I'm coming out of has stuff going on as it kind of drifts down, So, that could be really good. Instead of turning the bass down, make the bass, the intro, and then where you did the filters, from there on, your ass kicking it.
Got it. Nice one. All right. As we move forward, Overmind. Oh, it's A May. It's another a regular coming back here.
Fabulous.
And a little different.
Oh, me
which
like
I
it.
am not surprised by. This particular producer does a lot of this kind of stuff. And I love electro.
Yeah, I love it too.
Opens up the discussion is like, does electro fit into hard techno? Lenny says yes, and who am I to disagree?
Yeah, well, you know what it is? It breaks up the so mixing it in, you can drive new energy.
Breaks, for example, and it could be electro as well, right?
Totally, and the tempo's pretty fast when you bop
not
to it.
Compared to come on. A lot of the tracks we're playing are like 160, 170.
Yeah.
This is like...
When I play techno, I'm 150.
You can speed this up, but
133 even.
I think what you're also responding to is like the grit and the darkness of this.
Yeah.
This has like some very distorted 808. It makes it a little more hard-edged. So it could fit with some harder techno stuff.
I like it. Go forward a little.
I like that on the kick drum. Whatever, that's some...
Yeah, that's some distortion kicking off on that.
Sounds like bit reduction or sample rate reduction.
Oh, yeah, maybe
or it could even be like audio rate modulation or something. I don't know. There's just some craziness going on. This is dirty. I want to hear this really loud.
Yes.
Ooh. Good arranging. Ring mod. Yeah, that's Dita Driga says ring mod. Probably ring mod. I like that lead.
Could we go a little further?
We're almost to the end of the track now. I've been skipping through
All
the
right.
whole time.
Well, look, let's
Vocal orders. We need evil robots. Good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's saying, but was it saying overmind?
Or is he saying fuck you? I don't know. Fuck you.
Lenny, this is a family-friendly show.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. It's marked not for kids on YouTube. You're fine.
Yes, that's it. Well, I could tell you straight by listening to it.
This is really good.
I think that vocal, that thing, could have came in a little sooner.
Oh, we might have skipped it. Maybe Amaze here. Amaze says, first cheesy robot vocals I've ever made. Not sure I love them, but I like them, and I think they're a little buried and dark.
Yes.
Just like we were saying with the vocal sample in the earlier track, like make it up front, make it louder, be more confident about it, make it brighter.
Definitely, a little brighter. The actual track is really good. I just felt that when it was going into that, maybe you should have just went straight into the vocal and pulled it up more, and then take it down a little bit instead of going bong bong bong, 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 bong. You know, this way it'll make the arrangement a little bit more tighter for people listening to it that are dancing to it, because they want to go to that next level, and sometimes taking it back kind of might throw that off a little bit. I mean, I love electro. Yeah, definitely.
I love electro. And you made some, like, back in the day, you made like some of those Musto records that were kind of freestyle electro breaks.
Loads, totally. I used to work for Arthur Baker.
Oh yeah.
For those of you guys don't know, he's like the guy that really fucking got the 808 really happening.
Yeah,
like,
you made that Planet Rock beat. They were like, let's see if we could do like Kraftwerk and hip hop at the same time. And it was
John Roby and Arthur. I used to do a lot of the tracks. I was his production assistant. So what I would do is go over all the master tapes, recreate samples and sound. I had my own little room, which wasn't very little at all, and then we had the SSL room where we did the mixes. So I'd be working on a Sony MCI with tape, and we pull the tape and put it in the other room.
We should have you come back on for like a 80s oriented like electro New York thing.
Forget it.
I'm sure you got amazing stuff to talk about. We got to keep moving forward with these tracks.
Let's go, babe.
Salt Chunk by
Salt Chunk.
Tom
That was
Relic.
That's a good cover. I saw that cover. It was good.
A little low on the levels of this one, but maybe it gets louder.
Yeah.
My mixer's giving me problems. Come back here. It does get louder. Interesting. Let's jump in a little bit. Setting the vibe though, interesting vibe.
Badass.
Cool movement with the sounds. Did not expect the chord stabs.
No.
Good track. It's become more mellow now. Like we're kind of going a little outside of the hard techno. I mean, the beats are tough.
Could we cue it up a little more?
Interesting synth melodies
That's
here.
rocking.
Yeah, this is cool. So like,
go a little further. I already hear.
It's getting a little electronica, like, you know.
Seems like there's a lot going on.
There's a lot.
I can tell you.
I kind of skipped over where the song drops back in, but what were you gonna say?
All right. Well, from what I'm hearing as of now, the track is really great. I do feel that chord stab maybe on that breakdown, you should start getting into the stuff we're listening to now,
Like
and
the
kind
synthy
of
stuff?
and kind of open it up a little, because it just sounds like also the arrangement. Remember, when there's like 4 things going on, bass, drum, synth, or whatever, vocal, you want to keep going, maybe from 4 to 2 to 3 to 2 to 4, and just take the elements there. You probably didn't need to do any more than what you already had. In the stabs, they could be great at the end, because then you can, extend the feeling of the track. I think maybe a little too close, and maybe that other breakdown that we were listening to it had all the energy, and you want to build it up, and then you can put the chords in towards the end, and then break it down so you can mix out of it. That's pretty important for me when I listen to tracks, because if you can't put it on and you can't take it out, sorry, most DJs, whether they like the track or not, are not going to play it, because if you're in front of 30,000 people, you don't want to have any problems. I edit my tracks.
Some people do that. They'll get a track and they're like, oh, this is cool, but this part doesn't work for me, and then they'll chop it up.
Yeah, I edit the tracks. Not all, but for the most part, I do.
All right. Let's check out the next one. This is Huascar by Garrett. Bring that up a little bit. Jump in a little bit. Crazy vibe.
Yeah, totally.
Mysterious. Dark. Oh my gosh. It looks like this. It sounds like this looks.
Yeah. Maybe move it ahead a little further?
Yes. I like the percussion.
Yeah.
Of course, you had to do that big cinematic all by itself in the break. That makes sense.
People, woo!
Yeah. Now we got some lead action. There's a lot of good development in this track. Good stuff. A little trancey, or let's say, not trance though, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Hypnotic, melodic techno, but not, I don't know, it's dark. All right, I'm going to shut up. What do you think?
Well, look, it also, man, it sounds good. I think some of those big synths need to be balanced a little bit better.
I think everything about this track is great, but the mix needs work.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to sound muddy on a big system the way it is.
Yeah, and see where you had the high stuff coming later. You should kind of put that a little earlier, so the ear changes a bit. You started out with it really good, but it seems a little dull. But this is stuff that can be easily fixed. I mean, if you put some of those highs a little sooner, they'll get to where you want them to go sooner. And then when you have your big breakdown
in the arrangement.
Yeah, sure, in the arrangement, but sonically as well. Like, I don't know.
Just if you start this is a dark. This is what does he say? A dark hymn to the ancient Lord Huascar. So it's you want it to sound dark, but that's musical dark, right?
Yeah,
the sounds and the melodies. The mix is a little too dark. I would make this sound brighter and more open and more careful about like your mid range and
you can automate the like if you use a vocal what is it from Waves, the vocal rider or the bass rider. I know it's not what they're supposed to use it for, but either one of those will give you a sense of movement, and then you can get like a better balance with it, or you just automate it, or just bring it down a dB. Like sometimes the bottom is heavy and the top is light, so just lower the bottom of it and tuck it in a little. And then when you're getting
Lenny.
you get it brighter and
Let's do another one. We got anyway. I like that track. It was cool. We've got another regular here, Silver Knobs, HMDT, which stands for Handmade Detroit Techno. He's using all hardware.
Okay,
right?
great.
So a little bit of a different sound. Let's see what he's got for us today.
Yeah, bring it on.
I might need to jack up the levels, I think.
It's analog. Got to do it.
How's that?
Yeah, that's dope.
And just in general for the stream, everybody watching, are you hearing us speak over the music okay? Levels are all right. I tried to bring things up a little bit. All right, let's jump in a little bit. But yeah, I am hearing this. This is a little harder, more driving than I usually hear from Silver Knobs. But still very kind of dark and minimal and hypnotic, right? See where else he's going. Cool little noises in the background. It's really trippy.
Cue it up a little. Go a little further, yeah.
I think we're pretty much there.
Yeah. Well, I can say it is actually sonically it's really good for analog, 100%. Not just because it's analog. It sounds really good. I just wish after a certain point, maybe you should start modulating or moving stuff around a little to make the zenith point a bit more. I mean, if you're doing it all live at once, I know that's really hard to do.
There's a lot of moving parts to pay attention to in real time when you're doing it by yourself.
But other than that, because of the way that track is made, it's good, really good. You had everything moving. It just kind of, for me, it went on a little too long. So maybe working on drums or bringing in something that kind of accentuates what's going on in the track. But flawlessly, everything's in tune. Everything sounds really good. I like the way analog sounds. So
yeah, no,
you always get my thumbs up for that.
Yeah, it has. You can tell nowadays. There's a lot of people making tracks, DAW-less, so to speak, or using hardware or whatever. And the instruments you choose are going to determine the overall sound, right? And
yes. And if you're making analog and it seems a little lower than your digital counterparts out there,
mixing wise,
it's to be expected. You know what I mean? Because
but you
all
can
the
still
gear,
learn. Like, okay. If you kind of, when you're doing this live and you're recording straight to stereo and you're not multi-tracking, you need to spend maybe a little bit more time setting up your mix before you do your pass. So what you could do, and this is for me because I've heard a bunch of Silver Knobs tracks previously. It's pretty much usually the same. Like it sounds good, but I want it to be sort of brighter and bigger, and that's all just levels in EQ. It doesn't even have to be fancy plugins. It's just the balance of instruments. Maybe sometimes a little bit more effects on something. Like you can push it a little harder.
Totally.
Mixing into compressors, using saturation, like in the writing process in the beginning, right? And then do your tracks, run your tracks through that. It's going to make it sound a little bit more exciting compared to other music that out there that maybe produced digitally.
You also have to remember when you're making analog, all the gear wants to see -18.
Yeah, I know. You want dynamic range.
So sometimes if
that's
your
why
track
you use
is a little
saturation and
lower,
clipping and like push it a little.
if it's like when you're using analog style plugins, you might not get that full volume, but once it's after the fader, you can crank it. But really cool track. Yeah. Good job.
Let's move on to the next one. We've got Do You Know Anything About Techno from Touring 999. I think so.
Okay.
I think we do.
So I think a little. Woo,
all right. Oh my goodness.
It.
That's a little loud. Let me pull it back.
That's good.
I think I turned it up. Oh my gosh.
Well, you see, that's the difference with some of the analog, some of the digital.
This is digital. This is like
fluctuating. Yeah.
Good God. Industrial hard techno, like, we could turn that up a little more. There we go. mean, I love it when people pick these. Is this like an AI-generated robot? Cyborg? I mean, this...
Cyborg 100.
This picture, it looks like the music sounds. You know what I mean? It's appropriate.
Move it up a little bit more.
Yes, indeed. All right, I'm going to put it right before this first little break here. Bleeps. It's like, uh-oh, something's happening. Alert.
Go a little further.
What are they saying? The cult is chanting. Let's go a little bit.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, wait,
First off,
break. You're already ready for the...
Yeah.
I want to hear this last break and then we'll...
Okay, first thing.
Do you know anything about techno?
The hook.
Okay, I got it.
You're just
I got
answering. You're done. You want to give him what for?
Yeah, first the sample of bringing inside your soul. I got a great record with that in it. I've been playing. So
you hear so many tracks and you know all the sample packs and you know where these sounds are. You know that?
Burying it in there, you might not want to. You know, when you're hearing a track and there's a track with the same sample, you might want to spend a little time on maybe even saying it yourself. You know,
like read.
You know, because you're basically chasing the dragon.
Dude, now listen, which is amazing is that people will take vocals or samples from and then upload them into these AI voice generators and change the voice to someone else.
Yeah, well, that
and they're
one
doing that
I knew,
with like singing vocals, but you could do it with any talking. You could like resynthesize that sample to have another voice saying it, or say it yourself.
Say it yourself. You know, it's much more interesting. But I did feel there was a lot going on all at once.
All right. I mean, I just want to say, in general, this is
loud.
This is a good track. It's banging. It's like, you know,
it is a little loud, you know, and pushed, but that's the vibe. You know, I get it. I just felt there was a lot going on right away.
So you think mix-wise is what you're talking about?
Yeah, but mix-wise and the arrangement, maybe some of that stuff could come a little. You know, look, after about a minute and a half, something's got to happen. You know, because if you're mixing at 64 bar mixes or 33 or whatever, that's all good. But
this track is 8 minutes.
Yeah,
this track probably didn't need to be 8 minutes. So
does not need to be 8 minutes.
More quickly. Like we jumped through it, and you heard it in 2 minutes. But if we were to, I mean, there's, you know, that's a long track.
It is a long time. You know what you should always do is like sometimes I overwrite, and then once I'm done, I listen to where my ear gets bored,
and then cut,
and then I start doing global edits.
Same,
you know.
My tracks almost always start out longer, and then they get trimmed down.
I've been guilty. I got a remix going, a fucking Hostile on there. It's like 6 minutes.
Another one?
The original was 3 minutes. So I'm sitting there, I'm going, that's not meant to be 6 minutes. We have a whole bunch of we're gonna do a 12-inch of it all. It's and awesome. Remaster everything.
That's great. Okay, moving along. We've got Detonate. Pump this, yo.
Pump it up, yo.
All right.
Nice one.
That is really loud. Just want to make sure you guys can hear us. Tight. Also sharp, like that. It's thick, but then the highs are forward.
Yeah.
I would say this is a very current style of hard techno.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Call and response. I like that. They're playing against each other. That little high one. And then...
Yeah, definitely going good. Cue it up a little. Okay.
Lots of tricky little edits on the transitions. That's great. Fine. Look, it's that 909 ride again. This
Got that side trance.
Yeah, I mean, 9 out of 10 hard techno tracks now go.
Yeah. I sell a lot of sample packs with the so definitely.
Oh, you have to check out the break. This looks pretty like full on. Yeah. Hey. The break beats in there. Definitely very current. Got some moody chords in the background. It's almost like this is another song.
Yeah.
Honestly, I almost wish this was another song. I like this all by itself.
Yeah, right. It's always good to get like a little extra feeling in there. Okay, I got you.
Lenny's got you.
I got you. Well, okay, first thing. In the beginning, you got all those little screeches, Jack. Right? You got the screeches. Then there's this little voice, okay? Yeah. I would drop the little voice until your next break. And then, I mean, it's not much later, you know. This way, when you're mixing, you got that. Then there's the break, and then you'll just get one little step of energy. I thought the break was a little too long, but the second half of the break had all the energy, like because it's building up. Maybe if you're gonna come down, that transition between coming up could be a little tighter, a little closer.
I like the idea of going on a tangent and like, what's going on in the break? Where are we? This is where, you know, but then also it goes maybe a little too far away from the original.
It goes too long, in my opinion.
That's true, too.
You know?
Yeah. So
it kind of deadens your ear, and see how it all picks up with the doom, doom, that boom, boom, like that amen.
I think more like at the very end when it's more straight.
Yes. I would
definitely develop that.
Yeah, because you know when things are breaking too long, like people definitely stand still. So you don't want to have them standing still unless they're kind of going whoa, and then you bring them back up. I know it sounds stereotypical, but it works. You can't deny that when people are drunk and all messed up that they, time for them is time for them is very short. So the attention span, you don't want to lose that along the way. But very good track. It had everything you need.
Here we go. Job. We're averaging about 3 minutes per track, Lenny. We're moving along fast. I think we're doing all right. This is good.
All right, we can even go faster. I'm ready. I can hear things pretty.
All right, so this is a little bit different. We got Noise Game by Eider Studio. I like that broken beat 909 thing going on here. That's cool. Heavy duty.
Yeah, nice one.
Going a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more.
The next break.
Yeah.
Different. A little more experimental in a way.
Yeah, a bit more EBM.
Right, we've got another break and build up here, I think. All right, we're going to jump in a bunch.
There we go. Yeah.
Wandering around a little bit, I'd say.
Yeah, move it up a little.
Pretty deep. Right, another break. Here's some strange melodies happening in the background.
Move it up a little more.
Yeah, it's almost to the end of the break. It's
Okay.
kind of long. Okay.
Okay, I got you. All right, look.
This should have happened sooner, right here. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Great track. To me, it doesn't sound like an A-side track. It's something that I would love to have on the single, a compilation, because it has really great feeling and it is minimal, and I like that, and I love the broken beats. Maybe the break is a little long, but
if it's
not
more
really
of a listening oriented thing as opposed to a making the dance floor go crazy kind of a thing.
Yeah. And if
or
you're
it's
playing
a warm up track, or it's for real late at night and everybody's completely out of their minds. And,
if you're playing EBM, broken beat, broken techno, things like that, and that stuff also fits 4/4. You could see how you have your rides doing their 16th note things,
right,
and juicing it up. So there wasn't really anything wrong with it. Excuse me, just maybe not an A-side killer.
Yeah, I would say like that part right there.
Yeah,
where the pads and the musical stuff drops out. This is the best part of the track, and you waited how many minutes to do it? Almost 7 minutes.
Ooh.
So like if you had done this little build here, and then jump to this, that would have been 100 times better. Right away.
Totally.
And then you do this.
I'm not looking.
Again, and then you do this. I think what kills it for me, not kills it, but like reduces its effectiveness. Is too much drone.
Yeah, and
take the drone away, let the beats come forward, bring the drone back.
I'm not looking,
that, and then this will be like a level up.
I'm not looking at the running time, which I normally do.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that it was 7 minutes.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get there.
I would take the whole track as is, throw it in your DAW,
and edit,
and just edit until it keeps moving and moving. And if you can even get that baby down to 6, 5 and a half. 4.5, depending on how much you cut out.
This is still long and hypnotic. You don't need to go down to short attention span length. Yeah, I feel like 5.5, 6 minutes is good.
You got to shave it off and get to the zenith points of the track a little faster.
All right.
Other than that,
next
that's
up,
arrangement.
Stuff. So far, so good, right? We're hearing a lot of good stuff.
Very impressed. Actually, I'm very happy. Thanks for sending the tracks, guys.
Yeah, sure.
Really, guys and girls. Sorry.
Bullfay. Just say they.
They.
Bullfay Echinopsis.
Okay.
All right. This one's already. This was a 3-minute 40-second track. I'll let you know what the lengths are ahead of time. That'll help you. Pretty good energy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You want to go in a little?
Yeah, cue it up a little more.
Yeah, it hasn't really. It's been about the same for the first minute. Oh, wait. Here's a change. A little break. A little melodic variation.
I already. You can stop it.
I want to hear. Come on. It's so short. Okay, yeah. We've heard it.
I already heard that track prior to this.
So you know what to say.
So I knew. I'm sorry, I wasn't meaning to cut you off. I actually did hear it. What I do is the quality's great.
Yep.
It starts out. You got a really good motion, really good music, synth sounds. I do hear everything getting a little louder in bits. The only thing that I wish was there when you were making your changes, that dun, 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 dun. I just felt that it just doesn't happen enough. Like you hear a little bit of it and then it's like a little teaser, but maybe just get to that point So it's not 3 minutes. It's like you pull out this whole new chord thing that changes and then bring it back down and then make sure you have a way to mix out of this track because there's really no way to mix into it. I feel that could have had a little bit more drummy because you're already starting with everything on,
I
you know?
I would have started without the bass.
Yeah.
And then waited, 8 bars and then brought the bass in.
Yeah,
and then
it's
bringing in the ride cymbals.
Yeah, intro.
And then switch to the note going up and down, and the chord stab that comes in. Maybe take the kick drum out a little bit more, like do this a little.
I think it
more.
was just a little too linear, and you have every element sounding great in the track.
Yeah.
So if you just do the arrangement a little bit more and look at that chord, dun 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 dun,
it's just some more levels
dun.
going up and down, especially at the beginning and the end. Good track.
But I love the track. Good track, really. I was I was dancing in my underwear before. Not that you want to visualize that, but
all right. Now, I played this one for you already, Lenny, when we met up yesterday. This is one of my students, actually. This is Vosgan, and this is completely different than the music he usually makes. But I think he hit some nails on some heads with this one. This one's definitely got a familiar, accurate style.
Yeah, I like this one too.
Woo! There's a lot of screaming going on in there. Just skip in a little bit.
Yeah.
And this track, this is a short one. It's 2.5 minutes. I think this is my favorite part.
I heard this one already too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, I love the drum programming. The drum programming is really great. It has a lot of energy and it moves around a lot, so the arrangement is all cool. It's a bit of an old school styling track, so the headbanger sample is actually, I know the sample from a few old records, but nobody knows that now, and I think it's put together really well. I think the drum programming is what really keeps pounding it, and even if it's short, if you're going to make some kind of gabber like this, you need to have an outro at least for 8 to 16 bars. Because I play old gabber sets.
Yeah.
And you know, when there's nothing to go, you tend not to play it because the older tracks, of course, had all this going on. But now when I replay older stuff that might have been better in the 90s, I tend to look where I can put it in because mixing that stuff isn't easy, especially with the digital. It doesn't have it's got that analog, but very good track. Very good track.
I think
you did a good job.
And you know, some of you out there know, his Vosgan submissions from previous shows. This is very, very different than what he usually does, which is much more musical and a little housey and jazzy. I was referencing like Dave Angel and that kind of stuff.
No,
and,
it's really good.
He's got some good stuff. So
yeah, the programming.
This was a fun departure for Vosgan.
Yeah, and you know, you kept the feeling alive, and
Definitely.
That's the most. Even though it might be short, you know, tagging an intro and tagging an outro.
Yeah, you could add in just some, more of a mix in and mix out section.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
And then Lenny might play it.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. I got loads of old school gabba things kicking off right in here.
All right, let's keep going. We've got Ill-Fated, Triggered. The track fades in.
Try me, you fucking weasel.
Uh-oh. This is unsettling. I am disquieted.
Hurry the fuck up. calculator to a fucking retard. He's gonna try to turn on a TV with it. TV with it. Then why the fuck didn't you say so?
This sounds like some new school stuff, man.
Yeah, I heard this one too.
Oh, there comes that crunchy knock on the kick. Good lord.
When did you become a fucking expert on what I can or cannot do, you fucking weepy willow shit sack?
Yeah, I
Some
like
cool
it.
sounds in this
I
track.
heard this one before too.
Whoa.
If you want to cue it up a little bit more.
So this has the big, long, trippy break too, but it keeps the vibe similar. It doesn't change the vibe too much. Definitely not a family-friendly show today.
Not at all.
Different.
Go a little further.
Okay.
Okay, I heard this one. Okay,
wait, all I want to hear is this. Wait, just before you say anything else. Why did this only happen for like 20 seconds and then go away?
Yes.
This is awesome. This is the whole party right here. This is peak time. Killer right here.
Exactly. Where we were at the end before when we were saying to stop, that was more like a filler. You need to go back to this. And, you know, it's also back to the arrangement, but it's also the focus. And I think the vocals could be a little bit louder, but try not to put samples that say retard.
Oh,
and
yeah, okay.
things like that.
DJ Kelly C said, this song isn't woke. I love it.
You know,
I'll be honest. It's not for everybody.
I'll be honest,
Nowadays.
You know, just for that mix, I think even in the beginning when you had that one sample, you should have just let the mixing go a little bit more and then took that other sample and went forward. But I really feel that the vocals could have been a little bit louder. And you just have to watch the content of what they're actually saying. Like me,
this may be a deliberate choice. You know, we could get into a whole discussion about like.
I just think overall it's more
politically, culturally, socially, you know, but
it's more
let's stick
PC.
towards the arrangement and mixing.
You know, you could say fuck shit, god damn it, I don't even give a fuck.
It's
but
how
as
it's directed at some particular person.
You know, it's not a big issue, but if you
it
really
might get you turned down by a record label.
It's possibly.
I think so. Looking just pragmatically,
possibly.
like you're trying to get your tracks out there and signed by someone like Lenny or another label, they might love the track, but because of that, they might say,
Yeah, you don't want people to get the wrong idea. You want to express the hard stuff inside you, and you don't. You know, you can take it out that way.
Express the hard stuff inside
the track
you by
is
doing
great.
this. With that lead, this is killer.
Yeah,
like that should have happened after this.
Yes, totally.
And then, you know, whatever you think, and then this again. You and then you win.
Know?
That's all you need to do. Is just that one part should be the whole track.
So it's back to the arrangement.
Okay. Yes, I would say so. The sounds are
But
great.
other than that, you know, and even the vocal sample, I'm just putting that out there for you.
Okay.
I released some pretty fucked up shit. And I kind of, you never know.
All right, something definitely different vibe entirely now.
Who's this one?
Under Influence Apocalypse 2042.
Okay. I already heard this one
let's
too.
Let the people hear it.
Go through.
Oh. While we're listening to this, Lenny, Luminous Cloud is talking about let your feet stomp. Speaking of
that's all been cut.
It's all
Can't find we didn't upload it. We haven't uploaded it.
Interesting intro here. This is very sophisticated programming, I guess. It sounds really good in my headphones. It sounds big. But wide, I'd say. Let's say it sounds wide and lush.
Could you go a little further? I heard this one as well. I do have comments for this one.
Yeah, we know you got comments, Lenny. This to me is kind of a new style, I would say.
It's like French hardtech. It has that
hardtech is what you would call
it's like
it?
a very linear, very
It's
speedy,
hypnotic and spacey.
yeah,
ambient almost.
It's like
with all
they
these
call it
intricate
free
beats.
party. Yeah, definitely. Like I forgot the name of the group, but all right, I know what's going on with
I want to
this
hear it
one.
come back in. Good sound design. This is my favorite part. It's actually kicking now. It takes a long time to get there. I mean, this is a 5-minute track, and it's a specific style.
Good in France. I did feel the arrangement. Back to that.
Okay.
It's very hard to play. I really thought the sounds that you had going on could be a little bit better. Because the kick and everything is there, but it seems to be going, and then you get all this big width, and it should have just maybe equaled out a bit louder, and it'd be very hard for someone to play that. I can tell you now.
I mean, this again, it reminds me of like something that you listen to as in the background almost. It has that energy,
it's
but
like
the way
French.
it's mixed, it sounds more like hi-fi, like it's like chill. But it has all these intricate little beats. In a way, it's like almost like IDM kind of stuff in that way.
Yeah,
you know, where it's...
in France they play a lot of tracks like that. It's more, it's like almost Spiral Tribe-y in a way.
Sure.
With all
it's
that
psychedelic.
Yeah, psychedelic, and I call it free party music because in France they do free parties and they play stuff like that. So if you're in that game, and you're right up
and
there.
You feel
I just
like
felt
this
mix it
at the party. This is how you feel. There's this image that I'm showing that's very...
or you can do this.
Right, there you go. So
all right.
I think, but production skills high up there, definitely capable, interesting musical ideas. I think arranging, it's like if you're into this genre, they're probably in the ballpark for what is typical.
Yeah.
I think if you were trying to get this out to a wider audience, you probably want to tighten it up a little bit. And
maybe put a mix intro, so you mix it and then it breaks down as opposed to breaking down, because when you're mixing techno or even hardcore, especially more hardcore with the fast, the things are moving pretty quickly. So you want to be able to play it. I mean, unless you're doing like the free party, the French sound, I would still put an intro in it, and because they mix, and that's it. Really good deal.
Let's do another one. This is Paste by Buoys.
I heard this one too.
Let's jump in.
Yeah.
Wait, is there just that one voice?
Bass.
Yeah, bass.
Bass.
There's those 16th notes again. It works.
Does work.
Mix
I got it in this remix too, so.
Bass.
I like the variation on the synth. That's good.
Yeah.
Just adding that one note made all the difference. I like the phaser sweeping up and down on that. This is good.
Bass. Bass.
Okay, bass.
Step to the rhythm and dance.
Fine. Right back in there. This is good.
No, it's very good.
Nice one. I like
Well,
that.
look, I thought the track was great. I did feel some of the vocals were either a little bit loud or a little bit low, but I'll be honest with you, really hearing it again, it's really okay.
I love it. Earlier, we're like, the vocals are too low. Now we're like, the vocals are too loud. I'm like, where is it, Lenny?
Yeah,
Where is
it's
it?
kind
Depends
of
on the
in
track.
there. Yeah, it depends on, what's going on at the moment. But no, I think when that first break, the vocals in there, I mean, you could just separate these kind of movie samples. You might want to go and kind of like get rid of whatever's going on in them, like especially if they
Sure.
got noise, and it kind of makes them feel a little bit more muffled.
Well,
than
the
if
male
you,
voice was muffled. It was hard to understand what it was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
You know, the female
yeah.
saying bass is very clear. I
Yeah,
thought
that
maybe
was clear.
you don't need to repeat it as much. If you're just going to say
Yeah.
one word, say it once at the right
You know?
moment. You don't. It's like, I mean, I say that as a
You
person
had,
who's
like,
made
this-
tracks with one word.
Yeah,
Move.
yeah, 99.9.
Over and over. All right, you got me. You got me. That one doesn't shut up. That one says.
That one doesn't shut up, but
Then I'm
hey,
using
it's
it like a drum loop.
fucking
It's just like a
classic.
part of the
Yeah.
hypnotic thing, right?
Totally. Like, you had it once and then you did it twice and then there's a space. If you're going to use some vocals, try to use them in turnarounds or when things are going on a little too much and
I
you
think
want to.
generally it is, but like.
Yeah, it is. That was
it's
a
a
great
fine
track.
line,
I didn't think
overall,
there
I
was
think
anything.
the kick and the bass, the whole groove of it is what's working the most and is what's going to keep people dancing if a DJ plays this, right? So it's
Yes,
got that,
perfect.
which is already up on a lot of people out there trying to do this. So let's move
Yeah.
along. We've got Raptor 10 by
Yeah.
Raptor. Yes.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh boy. I think I know
I
what
heard
we're
this
in
one
for.
too.
Wait, I gotta do it. It's just like it's so crazy. Ah! All right, I'm jumping in. Break beats. This is half seizure music. This is. Bleeps.
Yeah, I heard this track as well.
Different track now.
I heard
Crazy.
this one already. Yeah, this one's good.
It's high level production. They're really good at what they're doing. Interesting lead. Something's wrong. Something's wrong in my head right now. I gotta say, I gotta be honest, Lenny. And I don't think it's just that we're old men now, but this is really hard to listen to after about a minute. It's like, it's good.
for me,
I'm not dissing it, but man,
for me, it's perfect. Here's the problem. You gotta get the intro going on because, like, I mix that stuff, and you're starting out.
I see. Like, so, like, wait, give it.
You gotta, even start with the and then go, because when you're mixing these tracks, you need at least 16 bars, like literally. And especially with hardcore, like they give you that one section. And if you got too much stuff coming in on it, it just makes it disjointed. And I remember this track at the end, you got a lot of these synths and everything going on and going on and going on, but it's got to end sooner than you have it. And there needs to be a way to mix out. If you're going to make this style of hardcore, which I do play in my sets, not the whole entire set, but I loved it. The production's good, the kick drum's good. Just fix the beginning and the end. I mean, all you got to do is just listen to some stuff from Holland. I don't want to be stereotypical about it, but you can hear that it starts with the top. You don't have to worry about it because that's not going to be on Beatport anyway, unless you have the pro thing.
You're just talking about the practical, like mixing
in and out. Yeah, and
so
mix
start
out
with just the kick or a simple beat.
Yeah,
and you already have it. You could, these guys know how to do editing and automation and all sorts of crazy sound design. They could make a DJ mix in that sounds cool too. Like it's simple enough to mix in, but interesting enough for the listener to go, "Oh, cool,"
Totally, because they're not going to hear that. That's like a DJ record. You want them to play it, and they will play it.
Definitely.
Just at the end, when you had all those synths, figure out a way to wind it down so when you're mixing, the track doesn't need to be 18 minutes long. You just put a little bit of an intro before your track even starts, so you have that and then and then at the end when you got all the riffs, maybe do a simple synth breakdown and pop it into the mix so you can mix out.
They submitted two. I meant to close this.
No, it's fine. Let's go to the next one.
We're gonna go on. If you want to listen to another one of their tracks, it's on the Discord. Let's move on to.
Okay. Yep.
This is a different This is Raptor. This is Razor R. Dr.
Razor R, yeah.
Beats.
Yes.
Paging Dr. Beat. Emergency. Emergency. Paging Dr. Beat.
This is funny.
Yeah, totally.
The mix is good.
The
The mix sounds like a pop record.
Yeah.
All right, we got to jump in a little bit.
Yeah, jump in. I know.
Wait,
I heard this track.
I'm confused a little. I mean, I know what's happening. I'm not really confused.
That's
but
to the beat. Na 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 na.
That's a famous
that?
80s
Yeah,
track, right?
yeah. Gloria Estefan, maybe. One of those, like Miami Sound Machine, maybe. Miami Sound Machine, right?
Wait a minute. Gloria Estefan, Dr. Beat.
Yeah, Doctor. Yeah, that's it.
So, this is
Go
a
a
fun,
little
it's a little
further.
silly. It's a fun rave record, right? A little
Wait, there's
commercial.
one section.
Emergency. Paging Dr. Beat. Emergency.
Hold on.
Paging
Hold on to
Dr.
what?
Beat. Emergency.
Wait, there's one section that I wanted to point out to him.
Okay.
Emergency.
If you go a little further.
Paging Dr. Beat. Emergency.
I don't want to skip it. Is it here?
Wait.
Emergency.
Okay, well, I've heard it. I know what's in it. I don't know where it is. Oh, maybe, yeah.
This reminds me of like 80s Dutch Euro dance. That's what
Okay.
this is.
I got you on this. The track sounds nice.
I mean, the mixings, it's
for
pro.
my-
It's the
for my-
production is professional on this, right?
But my taste, it's a little too quirky for me.
Yeah.
And I did notice there was some latency going on. I don't know if you kind of did that
do
purposely.
you mean just some
to
timing
move it.
issues with the groove? Is what you're saying? Some drums
Yeah,
being a little early or
there
late, or
was-
things being some
yeah.
sample being a little late. Yeah.
When I listened to it on the actual iMac itself, I noticed it more than here.
Okay.
But it was only in a small part, maybe a little bit halfway in.
Yeah.
And with the sound of everything is really quite good, actually. And it's a really fun track. Just
Yeah.
for my taste personally, it's a little too quirky, but
Well, it's quirky
that's
and it's
just me.
also on the
Yeah.
border of like commercial. Like,
yeah,
pop
I like the the
accessible.
beat. Got that
Because it's taking a
beat.
famous pop tune from the 80s
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
reusing it. I think
Yeah.
even
well, you're
even as a-
replaying it, so that's a really good thing. Instead of just ripping it
Sure.
off, even though that the beat.
Yeah,
I
wanna
used
hear
to play
that
the
less.
original.
I don't think you
I'm
need to
showing my
have
age.
it repeat the vocal that much.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a bit overbearing because you get it. I got it right. It's
Yeah.
cute and it's fun. It's a party record. This could really make certain parties go off.
Yeah, it's good
Probably
for
not one
happy
anyone would ask me to
hardcore.
DJ at, but like
No.
it could work.
Well, you can do some happy hardcore
Sure,
in
yeah.
that range. So you know, it's all good. You know, you did a good job. Just I kind of felt that it could maybe really have a hook that's a little bit more driving instead of that. You have all that music. Maybe bring a little bit of that out as more of a focus point, and then you go back into the . You know what I mean? As
Got it.
opposed to could be a little less linear in that regard.
I'm looking
But
through some of these remaining tracks. There's still a bunch. We're gonna get through as many as we can. I just want to make
there
sure
was.
that we
Do
don't.
you see the one with the
lose-
guy with the gun? It's black and white. He's got
I
like
will.
a gun.
I just like there's
that one I really like
There's
too.
Callie C, you're here in the chat. You submitted more than one, and I have two of them here.
Oh, hold on. Is that the one that's brown acid and
Well,
something
no,
else?
there's this Buster Nut Scoozy DJ Callie C remix, and then there's DJ Bathtub.
yes,
Boom.
DJ Bathtub.
Should
Okay.
you want to listen to that one?
Hold on. I made notes on these.
Well, if you made notes on it, we're listening to it. Let's just keep pushing
yeah.
forward. Okay. That's a kick drum, Lenny.
Yep, 9090. You could go a little further. I can tell you exactly what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Back into the beats again. Some acid. Let's jump in a little bit more.
I could because I heard this one already as well.
Let him
All
have
right,
it, Lenny.
it really needs more focus, and I
All
think
right.
you're choosing some sounds that you know you got such a great acid. You got that little vocal that you kind of buried, and I would kind of stay away from that. And there's a couple
The low one, like,
notes. Yeah,
that kind of takes it down a lot. Like,
it takes it down a lot, and you know you're getting started, and then it breaks down, and then you get started, and you know you need to like get it going into that acid as opposed to brrr. You could put that kind of more later on when you want to get a better breakdown, but to have all of it too much in the beginning, it makes it kind of hard to play. And you know, other than that, you know the mix is pretty okay, but burying the vocal, not doing enough of the acid, it just back to the arrangement again. I know when people are starting out, it's the most important thing, because even if it's not mixed good, you can drive it a bit better.
If you're just starting out with this, if you're on the earlier side of figuring out the arrangement moves and things like that, spend some time listening and analyzing. Like, pick tracks that you think are awesome by producers that you were really into, and map them out. Like, how many bars are their breaks? How many bars are the main sections?
Yes.
How long, you know, and not to copy their music, copy their structure.
Yeah, that's what
your
I tell.
track around the structure of a track you know is top shelf.
Yes, and you know what you got to listen to is you have to be looking at it as all drums, all fucking synths, all vocals, not just like this. Those are internal things, unless you know, because you're doing a drum mix, so you want to be able to build it up. But you know, you always think, okay, what did this guy actually do? Well, he put a bass here, then he put his hi-hat later, and then just map it out. I'll be honest with you, it's the best way to learn, but also don't get caught up in the trap where you start to sound formulated. You know, you use it in the beginning.
Like, but you know, when you're just starting out, you start by copying what you hear, and then you figure out how to do it your own way, and then do something different. So here's the one you were just talking about, I think. This is a Destro 187 Jack Move.
Yeah, I think it's the guy with the gun, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Looks like a particular
Destro
version of a Disintegrator record, I remember.
Yeah, it's actually quite good, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
A little slower, a little different. Interesting. Not your typical sounds, right?
No, very good. That's why I was attracted to it. It had a very big room. To move it ahead a bit more, but let them hear more of it.
Different.
Really cool. Really good.
All right. I think that's pretty much most of it, right?
Yeah, it does
the rest
more.
Of it's just arranging those elements back and forth. So,
yeah, I love it. I love it. You know,
nice.
you know, it's so different. It's big room. the samples are all put together well. It's definitely a winner because it sounds unique. And when I'm A&Ring, if I can find something that's unique in
Dude.
its own way,
Sure.
it really will go a longer way than maybe something that's trying to like be like something else. And I didn't really hear this. I like the mumbatone kind of beat and it's just savage. It really does sound great. I didn't really have any problem mixing, arrangement, yeah, it was good,
I'd be curious to hear how this translates on a big PA.
Yeah, well, I was listening to it on the headphones and on my iMac test number one, and it sounded
You're gonna have
really.
to take it over to those fancy, very expensive master speakers behind you.
Yes, and that's what we're gonna do when we're done. So I can give you guys the number one, number two, because listening in the headphones, and there's so many tracks. I want to be able to really go through.
Let's actually. All right. Having said that, we kind of have to think about how we're gonna bring this home. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 potential more tracks. And if we're spending 2 or 3 minutes per track, that's already us past it's already almost 140 right now. So let me just say, as far as I think what I'm thinking based on what you just said is we may have to do the winners off the air.
Yeah, I would look. I want to
reach out. Not to leave everybody hanging. I was hoping that we would be able to get to it, but I just based on the number of tracks we've had coming in, and also to have Lenny really give the serious, focused consideration to decide. He's going to listen in his studio on his amazing speakers and not feeling the pressure of being live on the air. I think it'll be a little better, right?
I want to give you guys the same exact respect and the same exact thing that I do for any other artist, because, I can give you notes without hearing everything, but I would love to have that time, know what the track is, and be able to tell John, these are the ones in order to do it.
Cool.
I will do it by tonight, tomorrow. You'll have the answer.
We'll announce it on the Discord.
Yes, and John will showcase the tracks, I guess, so they know which the other people know which ones were picked. Or I don't know how John wants to do it, but I just want to be fair to everybody because I love new tracks, I love new artists, and a lot of labels just don't give enough time.
You're really listening.
To develop
That's really great.
Yeah. So and you guys have come up with some really great stuff, and this look at the negativity as positivity because
constructive criticism.
I get it all the time. It's like boom.
Let's go.
Next one,
Prisoner by Gat Terror or Get Terror.
Get Terror.
This one's pretty.
I've heard this one.
Crazy.
Yeah. Is this the one with the video?
No.
Okay.
A break or variation of the basic bongo pattern may accent clave. Play the first 3 measures of pattern, then on the and beat after beat 3, slide the left hand back and make a rim shot, making sure to get the left thumb ready to follow beat 4.
Go a little ahead. I heard this one too.
Yeah, but we haven't. Woo!
Go a little more. Okay, I could tell you now. I did hear this. I did hear this track.
All right.
Okay.
Whoa, I just wanted to get to this because it does get to this. Whoa. Good Lord. That's intense. Okay.
Okay. Because we got not that much time.
Wow.
Okay. Mix needs to be better.
Okay. I was going to say, though, the energy of this and,
the mix needs to be
the
better.
vibe of it, and it's
And
great.
the vocals, some
It's
of them
really
are a little too
hardcore.
loud.
You feel emotion in this, right?
It reminds me of Nasenbluten.
Huh.
Like some of the vocals with that really fast. It's just a balance issue, really.
So
like the bass, you're making things fast, and I think if the crazy programming that you have on, it just seems to get lost because it's like this, a little linear.
Like it's. I mean, I know that's also a thing. Like this loud, everything's saturated, compressed, and pushed. But it could hit harder if it was more dynamic and more open.
Yeah, and maybe you drop a little of the bass out. These kind of tracks, to be honest with you, when they're fast, you get less bass, and when you're slow, you get
it becomes
more.
like a hum. It's not like a boom boom pulse. It's like
it's just a mixed thing.
Underneath everything.
Just try to take off some of the plugins, do a quick rebalance, and give it a shot. And like the speedy vocals, they could go up higher, and the spoken vocals could go down a little. So you get more energy when you're starting to kick it in, as opposed to then straight, and then I think it's just a mixed thing and some effects. Try to use less a reverb on the fast vocals that come later. They're already going fast enough, and it seems to be buried. A mixed thing. Like I said, maybe the pre-delay is a little bit much. Like you didn't really set that, so it's all
let's keep
reverb.
pressing forward. You've got really detailed notes for this person, which is great. But man,
no, it's great. Next
you gotta
one.
Go for it. And this is the one with the video.
Yes.
Je travaille pour une relation effectivement publique. Valoriser la ressource humaine.
Système d'autosurveillance du corps et de la santé font glisser de plus en plus l'image de l'homme vers l'ordre des machines.
Un DRH, c'est quelqu'un qui ne pratique pas.
This is absolutely bonkers.
Bonkers. Off the chain. Love it.
Nous aurons très bientôt des machines qui permettront à chacun d'entre nous de
If I understood French,
son niveau d'équilibre
don't have to though.
You don't have
music
to.
and the visual tells
It's
you
gonna be
everything.
fucked up anyway. I love French. I just no parlez-vous français.
Oh my.
Right, you've seen the video, right? It's fucking pretty. It's got it.
de l'homme une sorte d'objet de consommation pour l'homme lui-même, comme l'est aujourd'hui l'automobile ou la télévision.
I mean, if you want to go a little bit further, but
it's a constant change. It never kicks in, or it teases you. It's always teasing you, messing with your head.
Do you know, if you want to, I could tell you about it, right? Here's the thing. Look,
it's amazing.
The video and that track are as one. Everyone isn't seeing that video.
It's a piece of art.
And yes, it's a piece of art, and it's amazing. If you take the video away, it could be very disjointed, and you could lose a lot by putting that on maybe at the wrong time. Maybe you start with it. But the video, the music as one, very good.
Super original.
If you take that away and you want to make an audio version, trim it all down. Get to the meat a little. Make it like 2.5 minutes.
It's like 7 minutes long.
Yeah, and you know that's the thing. So with the video and 7 minutes, you're watching it. But when you're actually going to play it, make it short. Get to some of the parts faster so people could actually move to it. And if you don't want to do it, you did an amazing job with the video and that. And I totally get it.
You know,
and
as a creative hardcore DJ, I might like play part of this.
Yeah, you can use
like
it like an intro.
Or a thing in the middle of your set where you make everybody go crazy and then you go back into the banging beats after it. Like
definitely.
It's useful as is. You don't, and it's, we're not saying you got to like change your music to fit the DJ. A good DJ should be able to use it as it is in a creative way.
Yes. I just think it's a video project, and I'll be honest with you, as a label guy, I actually love that stuff.
Oh, right.
You know, it's like there's something to be said about that kind of track and production, because you have the video, everything moves around. It looks really original.
It's cool.
And it's cool. But if I was sending that to a label, if I was you, make some tracks.
Yeah,
so because they can't sell your video on iTunes.
Or get remixes.
Yeah, or get
a couple
remixes.
of guys that do dance floor stuff to take your elements and focus it just for that. Anyway, let's keep moving forward.
Yeah, let's go.
50 FT.
50-foot woman.
50
Yeah.
foot woman. Attack of the
50-foot woman.
There we go.
Little amen for you.
Gotta be from the movie, right?
I think so. I'm trying to. I don't remember what they said, but I do remember. Isn't it the 100-foot woman or
Voluptuously beautiful woman.
50-foot?
She drove into a nightmare of horror and saw descending from the sky a titanic monster whose fearsome touch became a frightful curse.
You gotta let it kick in, right?
Attack of the 50-foot woman.
I like what that kick drum's doing.
Yeah.
It's not square 4/4.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, it's not
got a
typical.
groove to it. Breakbeat a little bit.
I listened to this one too.
This part it's very movie soundtrack, right? It's like I think they sampled
Yeah.
parts of the movie soundtrack.
Definitely.
The
I think so.
orchestral chords or whatever.
But that's the 50-foot woman.
Incredibly huge.
All right,
I could go into this one. Look,
Yeah.
nice ideas for sure.
definitely.
Needs a way better arrangement. You got to kind of move it around, and the mix needs to be better.
So that
you
part
can have all that.
where the beat first kicks in
Seems to be
is
getting
great.
lost.
Woman.
And there's no strings, there's no other sounds. It's just the bass and the breaks. This is amazing. So I think like more of that, and then alternate that with parts where there's the other things, and then go back to that.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's great ideas. It just seems to me they're a little bit muffled in there, and it needs to come out a
mixing
bit more.
Should be opening it up a little bit.
Yeah, like some of the vocals are a little reduced, and then it's all sonically the way I think you wanted it.
Yeah.
But I just think you need to maybe spend another couple of hours on bringing things in and out a little bit. But
Cool.
other than that, it's a great
I mean,
crazy concept.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's like it's funny. It's a
The
clever-
50-foot
clever
woman.
idea.
I'll remember that track no matter what.
All right, now we got the "We're All Gonna Die" by The Void.
Okay.
I feel like I'm getting a nail between the eyes right now.
Yeah.
This might. I mean. Break. Good. I like the bass melody.
You can move it up. I heard this one too.
Well, I want to hear it kick back in, and that always makes or breaks the track sometimes, is how they come back from this. Come on! It keeps going. I had to skip over that. This is where it goes. Oh my gosh. Lenny.
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
I got something for you here.
I'm losing it. I don't know
I
what it
dig
is
it.
about this track. I think it's that kick drum. There's just that little
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
that's-
driving me insane.
Totally. Look, the vocals are a little bit low.
And the guy screaming, "We're all gonna die!"
I would save those little vocals for a little bit later and
you're
let
too
them get
serious,
into the
Lenny.
mix.
You're so just right into the like.
You know-
I'm like losing it over here, and you're
Well,
like talking
it
about.
just needs that little bit of focus with the vocals. I think the rest is
feel
quite
like I need
insanity.
a little bit of focus after this.
Yeah, totally. Maybe a little vodka in the morning. I don't even drink vodka, so I'm just putting it out there.
Again, good lord. I need
See
more
how
bass,
the see
man.
how the
I think I
vocals
get
could
this.
go
I
up a
get
little.
it. Yeah, you're right. In the mix, there's certain things that are buried, and
They're buried, yeah.
the kick being all high end, and like I know that's a style. That's like
Yeah,
the thing
definite.
now. That
Yeah,
these
it
kick
is a
drums are
thing,
not
for sure.
bass drums anymore. They're like
Yeah.
poke a
Pikey
stick in
things.
your eye.
Yeah, like beep,
now.
beep, 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 beep. I get, you know what they call them? They call them zog kicks.
Zog kicks.
Of course, they go zog, 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 zog.
But this one doesn't even go zog zog zog.
No,
It
no,
goes
it's
jerk,
it's
jerk, jerk,
yeah,
jerk.
it's not an up tempo track. So
Dude.
don't worry if you're thinking that. But no, the
I would-
vocals are a little
I like
bit buried.
It. I like
you
it. I
know?
just wish it had more thump underneath
Yeah.
it to balance it out.
To me, was the vocals were a little bit loud. They came in a little too soon.
Yeah.
Again, when you're making this kind of hard stuff, you need to keep that intro a little bit sparser, because when you put that in, the next record might have something coming out, or it's very sparse and you want to hear the transition. With
Yeah.
hardcore music, that's a pretty big thing, and that's how you get the energy in and out from record to record.
Okay.
Next one.
Here
Here
we
we go. Is this Buckaroo?
This is Contagion.
Okay, yes.
DJ
I
Buckaroo.
heard this one.
Contagion
Yeah,
896.
I heard this one.
The Pacifist. Wow, this is
Yes.
another video.
Yes, I was going to. It's actually a crazy video.
Oh boy. Oh no. Really?
Yeah. I know they can't visualize it because they don't see it, but
No, everybody's seeing this.
oh, they do. Okay,
Yeah.
even better.
I'm playing back the YouTube video. They know
all
what's
right,
going
there you
on.
go. All right, good deal.
Oh my god.
It's crazy. Ooh, spooky.
It is. Does it kick in eventually?
I don't remember.
Earlier I said I was disquieted. Now I'm like beyond.
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes. Lenny, we're gonna have to go past 2 o'clock. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
I'm waiting. Okay. Should I move in a little bit, or am I gonna miss
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Okay.
See the guy going like this, the
Yeah,
little
right.
monsters and stuff. This is great.
They're starting to move. This is fun. All right.
I
That's
heard it already.
That's it.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is it going
Okay.
to kick in again? Like
Amazing.
actually drop in? Where's the bass in this music, Lenny?
You know, like this is the thing, because it's a video.
Again,
with
same
music,
thing, right?
Same thing. You can't really say it's good or bad in any way, because it's
I
you're
still want
matching
bass.
it.
I think
You know,
this
it
is
could have
very
more
creative.
bass.
It's
Yes.
another piece of art. It's
Yeah.
unique, interesting, different sounds. It's coming out
Yes.
of. It's not like hardcore rave dance floor music.
Yes.
It's like a vibe.
It's better to watch than to
Yeah,
play.
But like,
so if
all
you're
they had to
shopping
do
this,
was put in a sub underneath that kick, and people would dance to it. That's
if you want to shop this around, and this also goes to the other guy with the video. Sorry, oh girl, I'm sorry. You got to shop it like that and say,
it's a
this
video
is my
art project.
album. Here's the videos. You can do shorter videos, and a label, especially mine, I would appreciate that. Where, okay, we release it on YouTube, but we would still need to have audio to sell,
right.
unless it's total video project, So when you're sending it out, for me, we did a couple of albums coming up where there's loads of videos and things like that. I'm working on an ambient release, which is going to be kind of all video, but the music you'll be able to play. All right, let's go next one.
That's the Grammy Awards telling you to shut up, Lenny.
Yeah,
Is
this 0000 kind of? Is that it?
War 303 is what we're checking out here.
Okay.
Interesting intro. It's pretty cool. Tricky.
Is this the one that's 10 minutes?
Yes, we're not going to listen to this for 10 minutes.
No.
Cool sounds.
Yeah.
A lot of good ideas in here, right?
Yeah.
Good mix. Is this more like...
This is like French sounding.
French stuff?
Yeah, it sounds like the... Okay.
It's like hardcore psytrance in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
you know what it is? It's just way too long.
Yeah.
As an A&R guy, if you were going to make a 10-minute track and send it to me, it needs to be epic. Like we released Zenith and Mechanism, and if you listen to those, and they're like 10-minute, 20-minute tracks, but you never get bored. It's always evolving and slowly churning, where I feel for this kind of track, you might want to just get to the point, you know?
Okay.
And I think you sent two.
Right.
And the other one is, the other one was a little long too. It was very strange. I felt because it's so long, you lost the focus if you're going to sell it as a digital file.
Got it. Okay. Or you might just, if you're playing live at the party and that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do.
Yeah. If you're doing a live show like Free Party Sound and you're doing everything with your stuff, awesome. That's what they want to see.
It's that sound. They're nailing that sound. It's well produced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, here we go. So Techno by Mr. Chips.
Yes.
All right. Jump in a little bit. Here's our break. Did you listen to this one before, Lenny?
Yes.
Okay, it's about 5 minutes.
If you want to move it around.
Melodic vocal sample.
Yeah.
Let's hear the break come, the drop come back.
Yeah.
Trancy.
Yeah. If you want to move it ahead, let them hear more. I already have my comments.
Okay. There's some good stuff in there. I mean, atmosphere, energy.
The mix needs to be better, right?
It's mushy, cloudy.
Yeah, and the vocal that you have in there is no reason to hide that whatsoever. And that seems like a zenith point. It's got a great vibe. It could cross because this trancey techno is, it's kind of happening at the moment. Nothing's changed with that style. You just need to mix it up, make it a lot cleaner and tighter, because this stuff, your competition is
really
the bar is
high.
The bar is very high, and it's very minimalistic. So you just probably have a little too much reverb. You lost track a little on the mix.
Too much compression.
Probably
if you got EQing especially in the mid-range, EQing things, so they're not it's covering each other up.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on where you're not getting enough out of the track itself.
All right, DJ Asylum, Sin One Greed.
Okay, I think I know this one.
All right.
Yeah.
straight up. I mean, distorted kick drum, acid.
Straight up. I heard all these from here
There's
on
a little
in.
hi-hat in there. You can barely hear it, but it's there.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Crazy
right.
noises, break,
Break.
evil, ominous. We're gonna come back and then we'll get your comments. Whoa, double kick drum. Quite a, I mean, it gets to a peak there, right?
Yes, it
That reminds
goes.
me of something Oliver and I would have done way in the beginning where
Yeah,
the end of the track is
woo!
just too crazy.
Well, Oliver was doing that without making music, so that's right. Well, look, Asylum, acid stuff's great. The arrangement is cool. Just a little bit in the mix. John's right. The hi-hats need to come out a bit more.
You could have a little more sub in there, a little deeper
little
bass
bit more.
in there.
Just a little bit more of the high end. The acid, the resonance is very high. It's not bad, but because you don't have the hi-hats so loud, they kind of conflict. You might want to put Soothe 2 on that just a little bit to bring the resonance down so you can hear it, or just make a little bit of automation, because some of the other drums need to come out. Going into the speed stuff, and it's a good old school sounding track. I think it's good. Just needs a
Acid Bat
little.
was just talking about how they
salt and
wanted to
pepper.
hear more like drop bass network style, kind of more old school. This is a little more like that. It's just more stripped down, distorted drums, acid.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a. It's just a bit of a balance issue, really, in some of the places.
Yeah,
it's not
this one
much.
is a good track. It's just the mix a better mix will make it work.
Listen to it in mono and listen to it really low, and then you'll be able to hear what you don't hear. If you know what I mean. When it's loud, you might think it sounds great, but there has to be a balance with the other instruments.
All right, there's another ill-fated track, so that's a double. We'll move on from that one. We heard from him before, or them from before. Now we've got Hadal Zone 98723.
Yep, I heard this one too, so we're good.
See, this is an example of like a mixable, musically interesting intro.
Yeah, totally. You got to remember, there's going to be a lot on, especially if you're playing. You know what I mean? You get it's good, and like if it's long, don't worry, no one's going to hear that. But it's for the DJ. Will. There we go.
That's like the cleanest kick drum I've heard out of all of them. It's really clean, right? It's transparent almost.
It's good.
That kick. Like, it's not like a dirty hardcore kick. It's like a clean,
it's a
punchy, bassy
techno
kick.
I like it.
Nice atmosphere. This really nice mix. Sounds spacious, but not too washed out. Like simple. I just love it. Just that one drone that's pulsing coming in is really good. All right, let's hear what the break does. We'll let it ride. Solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I can tell you right now.
Do it.
Very cool track.
Yeah.
Drums are great. I just felt some of those noises could be up a little. Don't be afraid to push them, because that's going to be your ding, ding. You want to sonically just feel. I mean, it's not that low, but just bring
sounds loud,
bring up
but,
the whole
here's
part.
an interesting thing. This is
because the kick is so driving. You have enough room to.
This
to
mix
juice
is
it.
very
Great track.
clean. Would you agree? I almost
Very
wish
clean.
it had a little bit of dirt in it, that it was a little more saturated and crunchy.
That little synth sound could be your dirt. because
Yeah.
in the break it's kind of moving, it's getting louder, and then you got this big fucking banging drum, and that it's
Yeah.
kind of like a drone techno. It goes,
Right.
it starts getting louder and louder, and you can really juice up the track. I mean, it doesn't need to be fucking louder than everything else. It just needs that little bit of balance. But even that,
If you ran that drone,
it's not a
bright,
deal breaker.
if you were
It's
to
not a
run
deal
that
breaker.
meow thing, like just get if you were to run that as it is into like an interesting distortion plugin and just gradually make it a little more broken up and dirty and bright, that would do a lot.
You know what I do for most of this stuff? I find the peak where it's gonna be, and then instead of using compression or anything like that, I just move the fader like this.
Yeah, that works.
So when you hear, but very, very subtle, and it will trick your ear into thinking every time it turns around, you're going to be kind of into it. But it's not a deal breaker that it's a little low. I just wish it was a little loud. This way, the zenith point becomes a bit more. But flawless track. Other than that, and it's really a choice.
Exactly.
More so than a must do.
Lenny, we got 3 more. We might as well
Let's
just power
do it.
through them. It's only just a little
Power
bit after
through
2.
them, baby. Power
Alrighty.
through them.
Eat my mom and dad.
This one I already heard, and it's fucking badass.
Oh boy, here we go. With an intro like that, you're starting your set with this.
It's like a machine. Sounds like an alien. This one too.
Dude, it's too loud.
Yeah, it is loud. I like loud. I don't know. I'm deaf.
I like this halftime fight. I think they did it. They did it. Oh my god. Okay, what else?
Okay, go towards the end a little.
Yeah. It's definitely like new school, old school.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
I like this one.
Okay, I got you. Go more towards the end, because I have some notes for that.
Where in the end? Where? Like
towards the end. Yeah. Okay,
that's it.
I got you. Sounds great. It sounds like Roughneck.
Yeah.
I know Patrick will probably love it because it got that same feeling. The volume, everything is really pro. I think the end was a bit much and needs a mix out. I think
it's a little messy in the end with that synth.
Yeah,
right?
when you start to go blah, 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 you gotta like realize that when it's that loud, maybe just doing it, you get more,
Like
and then when the kick comes in a section, you can go give it a little bit more at the end. Yeah, and the mix, the stuff in the beginning, that big fucking cinematic fucking kind of machine sound,
and the alarm,
amazing.
I mean, good gosh.
But the only problem I have with it is you put that little vocal in, and the transition between that amazing sound and the vocal, you might have just went, you know what I mean?
Oh, so
don't make it. Yeah, don't make it like
separation.
A flub. Yeah, you need to separate it a bit more. And really, that's it. Just check your mix output, your mix out, and work on that synth a little. Maybe I felt when I first listened to it, it might have been going on a little too long. So because it's just like, wow, what's this now? You have that other sound. You have a lot of stuff. So you might want to kind of
still
sparse it out. But
one of the better hardcore tracks from
yeah,
today.
very,
for sure.
very. Good gabber.
Good gabber. See, I didn't put Gabber in the title of the show. Maybe if I had, we would have
Oh
gotten more
no!
stuff
Well, you
like
know,
that.
it's trendy
Yeah.
at the moment. It's fashionable, and hey, look, the shit still sounds good.
Oh, yes.
You know, it just has that '90s feeling, and I appreciate that. You know, so all good.
Okay.
Which
We got
one's this?
Call Me, Contour.
Yeah.
All right. Didn't hear you shuffling your papers around. Back into the techno realm for sure.
Yeah.
Hard acid techno. Lots of bass, spacey. It's good too.
You can go further. I already heard this one too a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
See where it goes.
Yeah.
Atmospheric, vocal.
Okay. Here we go. Woo!
You like this part?
Yeah. Kind of just surprises you. Surprises are always good, especially on holidays.
I like that break with the weird time stretch vocal in the middle, and then the repeating the vocal in the background like percussion thing is cool. It's a good track.
Okay, just
I already can tell you what I would say, but you go ahead.
Quickly, I think it that little wonk, 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 you should just wait, let your drums kick for a little bit, and then there's like a little turnaround. Maybe then bring it in, and then it'll help you get. Well, it'll make you think that you're getting to the break sooner, because when you're mixing, like I said, I'm always a big fan of nothing, because I already know when you play it. Yeah, you know, I mean, I hate when I'm listening A&Ring. I don't like to do that to producers, but there's sometimes, and that's not a deal breaker, by the way. I just think the high end could be a little bit more.
I wanted this track to be a little more energetic in the highs.
More energetic, yeah. Other than that, I mean, you know,
the mix is a bit dark, and that's a vibe, but also you want it to really cut through on a sound system, and this is going to sound muffled on a big system, probably.
Yeah, like you're missing some of the highs and the hi-hats, and like I said, that little thing in the beginning isn't a deal breaker, but look at that second little skip drop and then bring it in, and then the hi-hats could be a little bit more focused. You're tricking your ear to keep listening to it, and tracks being dark is very hard for people to, you know, I mean, unless it's in a huge sound system, but even still, the other records you might be playing are not going to be that dark. They got to have a little bit more high end.
All right. This is our last track, Lenny. We made it.
Okay. We did it.
This is Datron, Out of Sight, Power.
Okay, I had this one too.
Down in the beat. Lost in the darkness. Demons are mine.
Okay.
Move to the right of the night.
It's only a minute 41.
Yeah, that was part of my. I mean, we could probably even squeeze one more if we go through this one really quick.
Oh. Interesting. Really wide mix. Let's turn that up a little bit, I think. I realized I set the volume a little bit low for a while.
Yeah, well, that's good. Get ready for mastering. Yeah, good one.
Move to the right of the night. Bound in the beat. Lost in the darkness. Demons are mine.
Okay.
I can tell you.
This must be like a clip of the track, because this isn't the whole track.
Yeah, number one.
Okay.
Number one thing. Never send a short track like that. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm only going to ask you for the full version.
Uh-huh.
And if I get too much distance from it, it's not good for an A&R guy to hear a clip, because you're not, I'll say it straight with business, you're not selling clips, you're selling music and tracks, right? But other than that,
That's a good track.
The ideas are great. It could be just mixed a little better, but it's very hard to tell because maybe it's not finished. It's just the shortness. But I would have to say, track is good. Everything is there. Maybe the vocal could be a little defined, a little better, but the ideas are great. And that means more to me than the things I've just said, other than the time. You know, you really should get a full track together on both ends. And it could still be short, but once again, that's a little too short. Actually,
well, yeah, that looked like that was like a
Track.
preview. That was like a preview clip for a full EP.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the full demo. So
but
that's
yeah.
fine,
So
because it's the end of the
fine.
show. It was the last track. I mean, maybe I feel like I kind of wish that the that what was that other crazy track that was really good? The hard Eat My Mom and Dad, like that.
Yeah,
that would have been a good end one, you know.
Well, I got one thing for Hind Pez. That was a nice video. I just felt that the drums weren't
which
there.
One's that?
It's an acid track, I believe. It's the one after. I don't know. It's Hind Perez. He did a video, so I wanted to mention that.
Okay.
And
if there's some ones that we skipped by accident, or
this one I wanted to just say, because it's a video, you did take the time for that. I just felt the acid, everything was disgusting, and I love disgusting, but I lost the drums in there somewhere. So maybe your mix needs to have a little bit more of a balance instead of. But if it's the vibe, and that's the vibe for the video, I respect that.
Oh,
just wanted to get that out.
Pez is what you're talking about.
Hindu Pez,
right,
yeah.
We
Hindu
did not
Pez.
play that one on the show. Apologies for that. We've got to wrap it up, though. Lenny, thank you so much. This was a real marathon,
you guys.
Right? I can't believe how many tracks we got through.
Woo! See, I have some notes, guys. I have notes.
So let me just say again for everybody who submitted, you're already in the Discord, obviously. So that is where we'll first announce the winners. We have a 1, 2, and 3. And again, we have like a t-shirt and 3 sample packs for the winner. We get second place is 2 sample packs, third place is 1 sample pack. And then, who knows, but one or more of you may be in contact with Lenny about your future possibilities.
Well, I will when I get back to you, I'll get back to you guys on everything, so there won't be a big lag. I hurt my back, so if you Lenny. Guys, it's so bad. I did this injured. I have a cane.
You're such a trooper.
I was taking those heavy 150-pound speakers, and I was taking it up the stairs with my wife, and it was just like. Click.
Maybe that was a bad idea, Lenny.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. I was just moving them around like an idiot. But in any case, I will listen to everything thoroughly. Then I have the names of the tracks, the names of the winners, and we'll get some stuff over to you. Just so you know, when you get the notification from John, all you need to do is go to loopmasters.com, industrial strength, and you can pick any pack. Yeah, I need to see your link. All right. And then I will physically send you the pack via WeTransfer, and you can do it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's easier for me that way.
Okay.
The only things that are not
all that in the Discord for those of you who have submitted and are awaiting an answer.
The only thing we can't do is the bundles, because they're not packs; they're just internally linked. So,
got it. Okay.
Other than that, the world is yours.
Great. And then I'll also on the show, just so everybody knows who won, who isn't on the Discord, we want to give you the credit that you deserve and get your name out there for everybody. So thanks once again, Lenny. This was fun. It was great.
Thank you, guys. Awesome.
And, everybody who submitted, nice work from everyone. Thanks to all of you watching, hanging out, and listening. Appreciate your support for all these producers. And
yes,
I'll see you next time.
You got it. Thanks again.
All right.
Woo.
Like dark, black, ominous clouds.
in a dream.